Hey there, it's me, Red Knight, the Heyday Farmer, and welcome to Sneak Peek Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, we are going to look at my 108 level farm, or specifically the town, because I want to talk about the town and give you a rough idea on where the sanctuary is going to be and some of what's involved here. And we can speculate a little bit more here as well. So we take my little personal train, we head on over into my town area, and you'll see there my large train has arrived. So it means I've got passengers pulling up into my town, i.e. visitors. Now, the visitors do usually go to your buildings, so you send them to your buildings. They visit a variety of different buildings from 1, 2 or 3 depending on the actual requirement. Now, maybe in the future this will change, you never know. Now, when the visitors go, you get the opportunity to get coins, you get the opportunity to get XP and reputation points, and you also get some wonderful prizes as well, whether it's expansion materials, swords or axes. So all of those are rather useful. So for me, the town is a fantastic place, but it's also very underused. So this actual update, I think, is going to be very strongly focused on the town. Now, I did say in the last update that the town would be a big consideration this time. And the sanctuary is something that's going to be rather interesting, I do believe. I think the actual addition to this area is going to make it really cool. Now, you can see here that I've maxed out here with the number of visitors. I've literally maxed out all of my buildings in relation to the visitor slots and the time reduction. Okay, I'm still working on my coinage and I'm still working on my reputation. I'm limited on what I can do for my upgrades because of the actual reputation level. So I'm doing that slowly but surely. My personal train for going to my hoodies is maxed out as well, so I can collect 10 passengers by just going to their stations. So that's basically the format of the town. It's good for resources, it's good for points, etc., and it's wonderful for decorating. Now, in the last update, you saw that we actually had this sign and that little board there. So something is coming in this area. Now, we now know that this sign is actually an elephant because we've seen that in the sneak peek. So super cool. We're getting elephants in the game. Yay. Now, it's been kind of like already within the game, the clues have been here. We've been seeing a lot of decoration added in, a topiary style decoration. We've seen gorillas, we've seen quite a lot of imagery for wild animals. And I think that's basically what we're now going to be getting. Something that's very wild and based in this area. That's why we're getting this wildlife sanctuary. But how is it going to relate to the game, I wonder? What's it going to look like in this area? Well, in a moment, I will actually give you a concept imagery where I've put some of the sneak peeks superimposed over this to show you what it looks like with my town. But the actual sanctuary is going to be in this area here, where you see the actual grass or slipway just there where the path piece is. I think just there you'll notice there will be a lot of water rolling down there. It will go under the actual train, it will then go under the actual tracks itself, and then come out towards the actual beach area using the actual bridge tunnel design that they showed us in the sneak peek. But I'll bring that up in a moment. In fact, no, I'm going to do it now. So bear with me while I just go and get the next image. Okay, well, here's the actual sneak peek one that we saw. So this is the actual waterway that's coming down by the side of the land. Gorgeous, if I do say so. This is the actual sneak peek for the bridge that goes under the track. But how do they look together on the actual town area, I wonder? Well, let's bring that in now with these two images superimposed. Now, you can see there down at the bottom left-hand corner, you've got the actual track there going under the railway for the bridge. And you've got the actual sneak peek design for the sanctuary to the right hand side. So this gives you a rough indication on how it's going to look, and I do think that's going to look rather cool. So this big large river style effect to the right hand side going from the right to the bottom of the actual town design. That's really going to change the outlook, and it's really going to change the design. Now, maybe it's going to be much smaller, maybe it's not going to be as perfect as this, but this is the way it's kind of looking to me at the moment, and I do like this a lot. But the question is, what's it going to cost us? Now, the actual land within the town itself, when it comes to opening, requires a specific amount of expansion materials. So you are going to need those mallets, you are going to need the stakes, you are going to need the deeds. In some areas, you are going to need the actual town maps as well. Now, how about the actual sanctuary? Is it going to require these items to actually open up this area as well? Now, if it does require those items, okay, fair enough. Maybe it's something that's going to be given to us free of charge because we've already got it opened up as well. So I think the thing that you need to be aware of is that if you haven't actually opened up the far right-hand side, you're going to have to open up your town land and maybe your beach land first. But once you've actually got it open, then the possibility of getting into this area is going to be there. Now, this leads me again to be thinking about, okay, what's the Heyday team going to be doing? Now, like with the last update, we had the area of land just across the road, and that area of land included a lot of wonderful gifts as well. So lots of beautiful decoration. Will they be doing the same again, I wonder? Are we going to be getting any decoration actually within this sanctuary? So as we move into this area, we've got to open plots up as well to be able to place our animals, as an example, that we are getting. Now, that does lead me to think, okay, is this going to be a lot of energy and time and work? But then again, if it is, I don't really mind. See, the town for me is a place that I think is wonderful. And I really do hope that the town is going to get something major out of this update. But we will have to wait and see. All right, let's go and have a look at that last sneak peek in more detail, because there's a lot of key information there that will really help us to understand what's actually coming, at least before the next sneak peek comes out today as well. Right, well here's that sneak peek. So as we can see from the sneak peek, there is that muddy sign that was actually located in the actual last update. So we can see that it's now an elephant. So this means that the wild animal sanctuary will definitely include an elephant of some kind of design. Now we did see an elephant previously in the past during the AMA for the actual circus train. Now, I do know that that concept design was pushed off to the side, but the actual animal idea has maybe been brought over into this. So we just have to wait and see how similar it was in relation to the way it looks. Now, we've also got the topiary that we've been looking at within the game. That will give us a good idea on the kind of direction that the team is going for appearance as well. So what kind of animals are we going to be getting? Well, if it's a sanctuary, how many animals? That's probably the key question here. How large is this opened area going to be? So we know there's going to be an elephant. How many elephants? Now, if I'm thinking of a regular zoo-style sanctuary, it's always nice to have at least two. So a mother and father, maybe even babies as well. Now, that would be super cool. So maybe maximum 3 elephants, maybe minimum 2 elephants as well. Now, how do we get those? Do we actually have to buy them? Do we actually have to win them? Now, I do know there are going to be some puzzles that relate to the actual sanctuary. So what are the puzzles going to involve? Will the puzzles be the activities we've got to do to actually get the animals? Now, if you look off to the right-hand side there is that crate there. So like a kind of animal shipping crate here. You've got some paw prints there. So that's definitely not a elephant paw print. So that maybe kind of reminds me of some other animals. Maybe it's a bear, it could be a tiger. Now, a tiger's a strong possibility, because if this is a sanctuary and we are going with the wild animals, the speculation for possible animals is good. So my mind is thinking elephants, I'm thinking giraffes, tigers, leopards, cheetahs, triceratops, okay, pterodactyls. No, actually, no, we're not going to get any dinosaurs, but it would be funny anyway. But it could be really cool. So animals, animals, animals. How many? Now, if we are getting animals, how do we feed them? Do we have to feed them? Are we going to be getting a new feed mill, as an example, maybe within the actual sanctuary that we need to work with? So that would be super cool. Maybe the actual farm feed mill is going to be giving us something as well that will require us to actually come and feed these animals as well. You never know. The possibilities are there. If it is some kind of feeding activity, does this mean then that we are going to be doing some tasks? Now, we do have the derby. Does this mean that the derby's getting an upgrade as well? So maybe some new derby tasks. Now, that would be super wonderful. I do know that people want the derby to be changed. So again, the possibility of more actions added to that again. So the game is becoming very focused on giving us extra items to do. So a lot of people who have actually said that, okay, they're feeling bored, there's not a lot to do, it's very repetitive. Well, it looks like you're now getting a lot more added into the game. Now, the only concern I do have is that maybe it is going to take away the emphasis of the farm, but because the sanctuary is actually in the town, it does please me in some way. So it's actually something that's very independent. I think a nice little town additional activity here that's not just building related, so it's not the same monotonous activity that we've had previously. It's something brand new. I must admit, if it had been just a building, I kind of would have been a little bit like, oh, okay, I've already got loads of buildings and it's nothing really special. But this sanctuary actually is an exciting concept. Okay, I don't know fully what it's going to look like, but again, it does give me the impression that maybe it's a little bit more special or wonderful. What else do we actually see in this image, I wonder? Now, we've already mentioned the sign. We've already looked at the crate there. Now, is the crate actually for bringing new animals, or is it some kind of decoration as well? Now, as I said earlier, okay, with the last actual update, we got decorative items within the area. Is this again going to be one of those? Maybe it's the puzzle that we need to open to actually get to the crate to release the animal. So, the concept is there, and I hope that it is something similar to that. Or maybe it's actually a nice little decoration, because I would love to see this. Now imagine if these actual crates came flying down with the balloons as well. Now that would be super wonderful. Now this area, once it does open, is it something that we can actually decorate and change around as well? Now I have a strong feeling that the answer is going to be yes on that one. So you're going to open up the actual safari area, you have the ability to decorate it the way that you would like, and then you could place things into positions and keep it the way you like. Now if we look at the actual sneak peeks that came out, okay, all of them showed imagery that was used in slightly different ways. So I do think the actual concept of decorating and editing has come over into this area as well, and that pleases me greatly. Now let's have a look at some of these other things here. Now we do know that with the previous update there was that kind of like wooden platform there. Now I think that wooden platform is actually that stone jetty you've got there. So you're probably going to have to open that one up first to be given access over into this area. Now does this mean that there is a small bridge? Now does it mean that you've got to jump across the water? I don't know yet at the moment. So something seems to be missing in this gap there. Now maybe it's actually down by the railway track. Okay, you've got to come in via the beach. We know the beach is getting the water that continues down to the ocean. We know there's a bridge there that the actual trains go over and the water goes under the bridge as well. But again, okay, how do we gain access to this area? I don't really want to be walking across the train track, but the actual imagery we saw previously with the kind of like slipway going down to the beach, it gives me the impression that maybe we're going to have to walk down to the beach, so you might have to open up the beach first to actually get into this area, but you never know. Now looking at this design here, you can see there's a kind of like a platform there, like a shelf system with a book on. Now, I wonder, what is this for? Is it some kind of visitor book? Is it actually a book that gives you tasks to do, just like the actual truck or the boat, or is it something where you can request something and people come along again within the town and do something? Now that would be wonderful. Imagine if your hoodies could come to your town and feed your animals or do something in your actual sanctuary area. That would be really good, and I would like to see that as a possibility within the game. If anything, I want to be able to do a lot more to help out my hoodies. I think the hoodies are in need of being a lot more supported as well within the game. And maybe through the town we can do that as well. Because I know a lot of my actual neighbours don't focus a lot on the town. Just very few of them like the town as a major area. They don't always want to do it. So the town, I think this is going to bring back some life into this area. But what is this book for? Is it some kind of help-based activity? Is it something that tells you about the area? Again, we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe it's some kind of decoration. Now, if it's decoration, super fantastic. I like that as well. Now, I did say in my last video that there is a vase there, but it actually looks like there's two there. So it looks like we've got two kinds of decorative plants there as well. Again, more greenery for the game. Yeah, I like that. So there's the sign, there's the actual crate, there's the book on the shelf there, and then there's those two vases. Now we've got one other kind of decorative item there, which actually looks like an animal house. Now maybe this is what we're going to be looking at here. So this kind of like sheltered design with a single bowl of water there for one animal. Will it expand? Is it something that we can add another bowl of water to and the design increases? Or maybe we need lots of little individual ones. How many are we going to get? Is it going to be the 1, the 2, 3, or maybe a lot more? Again, these are possibilities we're going to have to wait and see. Now, I do know some of the information. I do know a little bit about what some more is coming. And there are some clues within my actual video today. So I do hope that you can pull out some of those clues and get a rough idea on what's actually coming within the game. Now, I enjoyed this sneak peek. I do like what it's doing. I like the direction it's going. And I am rather pleased about this. So I do anticipate today's sneak peek giving you a lot more information, so do make sure you keep an eye out for that one. Okay, right, that's me, Red Knight, signing off for the moment. I've hopefully given you enough information. Don't forget to actually send me some mail in the post. This is my address, by the way, everybody, and I do like to actually get some mail. I got some today as well, so send me more postcards, pictures, anything is cool. I also got a nice big box from the Supercell team as well, so I will be showing that one off very, very soon as well. And I wonder what's inside. I actually don't know, but my wife does, because she peeked. But I told her not to tell me. Right, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and I will see you all in my next videos or in my live streams. But either way, take care, have fun, and keep speculating, everybody. Goodbye now.